Now, there's a way I can change the thing on this in the launcher, so I might see if it looks less stretched with the text on the other mode. There's an epilogue mode, okay, that's good. So yeah, just try it again. So yeah, Nemesis actually had a Steam release the other day, as in the original version of Nemesis. So yeah, if I change the scaling method from screen fit to integer scaling, or integer scaling, however it's called, let's try that. Hopefully we get some people on anyway. Alright, Rajiv, so yeah, I was just saying, you'll be back later, okay, never mind then. Right, this menu looks exactly the same. I am going to play this on easy mode, because I remember this being quite hard in Nemesis. So, what's the difference? Oh, it's just costume select. Should we do normal then?
Resident Evil.
So I had this on CD-ROM.
It all began as an ordinary day
but
in September.
yeah, I've obviously played it on PS1 as well.
Day in Raccoon City, a city controlled by a
But yeah, so I think this is slightly made to run better on modern machines. Cheers, Ibuki, enjoy it. Like I said, I'll not talk too much during the opening cutscene. I'm just going to have to hope that the controls are easy enough to pick up again. I mean, it'll be tank controls, but...
If only they had had the courage to fight. It's true that once the wheels of justice begin to turn, nothing can stop them. Nothing. It was Raccoon City's last chance, and my last chance. My last escape.
This is Chopper Delta, preparing to drop off at area E95070.
They look weirdly like Mi-7s or whatever, for something that's meant to be in America. I think there is a French helicopter with a similar looking design though. So these are definitely cutscene zombies, because obviously in the main game, if you had this much firepower at hitting them, you'd have killed them all really easily. Right, so let's see how well... That actually doesn't look terrible, because again, the only thing is obviously... The play area of the screen is... Right, okay, what's the control? So it's... Oh, it's old-fashioned, and I don't want to quit, I want to find out what the controls are. I might have to plug a controller in for this if it's... Most of the keyboard mapping doesn't seem to do anything, so alright, so X is aim. Yeah, I might see if let's try plugging the PlayStation 5 controller in and trying this again. I might try doing the old screen stretch mode, the recommended one as well. Right, so I should have a spare thing for the PS5 controller somewhere. USB slot. I literally used it just now to upload some footage from my camera of a gas mask video. And now I can't see. Yeah, it's just because it's gone down there. Yes, Bicey zombies. But yeah, like I said, I'm hoping that this is one of those games that kind of supports a PS5 controller. Because although I know the original was on PlayStation 1. That's why I'm just... And I remember when I played this last... Because it doesn't have a control setting thing on here. So let's try screen fit default. I don't want to do full screen because otherwise let's just make sure we set it to 3840 by 2160 just in case for whatever reason it wasn't doing it as the desktop resolution. But like I said, I need to figure out the controls because this game is going to be way too difficult later on if the controls are really stupidly awkward on keyboard when you have to deal with Nemesis. I will skip the cutscenes this time if it lets me. No, I don't want to quit. I hope I don't have to watch through all these again. If so, this is a really bad port of it. Because the old port of it... Oh, there we go. Just you had to wait for enough of it to load. Right, okay, so that's working with the controller. Right, easy mode. Costume select. We'll just do normal.
Resident Evil.
Right, let's see if we can skip through the cutscene. Yeah, I can. Good, so that works. Right, I'm just going to have to figure out in a minute what the control scheme is. And again, like, it's... I guess the game has to load a certain amount before it lets you skip the cutscenes. There we go, yeah. But yeah, the problem is with Resident Evil's tank controls is moving... like I said, it wasn't even WASD, because they'd obviously got it on the old-fashioned, like, left-right... Right, okay, the sticks don't do anything anyway. Right, okay, so square is run, X is interact. In a minute I'll get to an area where there's no zombies, so I can actually... Yeah, exactly, rich stars. Yeah, at least the game isn't as stretched now. Like, not stretched, you know, it's actually more stretched, but, So yeah, this is the original Nemesis, which is a lot scarier than the remake. This is, because I replayed this not too long ago, this is a lot more action-y than the, like, Resident Evil 1 and 2. But it's, like I'd say Nemesis makes this a lot scarier because of the fact he can chase you through doors. Which wasn't ever a thing, except for maybe one or two little cutscenes in Resident Evil 1.
What do you think you're talking about? I just lost my daughter out there! How dare you tell me to go back outside?
Yeah, although the gameplay in this is still actually better than a lot of modern games, which is funny. The way their kind of character textures swivel around a bit, I guess because the anti-aliasing is a bit uncanny valley.
Now leave me alone! Told you! I'm not leaving! Never!
This is top tier compared to Resident Evil 1 with Jill Sandwich. So yeah. Oh, okay, the thumbstick does work. Okay, so you can left thumbstick controller. So, square is run, X interact, wasn't it? Oh, okay, so was that L1 I just pressed to the map? Yeah, right, so, yeah, L2 is map, okay. Yeah, so R2 is aim, and then it was X to fire, wasn't it? Oh, also R1 is aim. Okay, so I can use either of those. So circle is inventory with all the stuff. What's this do? Game... Oh, game instructions. Yeah, I'll just put these in the safe box as soon as I can get to the first safe box. Yeah. I can't remember, in the remake, does he even use the rocket launcher? Oh, is that a herb up there or a first aid spray? The funny thing with this is when it's at a higher resolution than PS1 graphics, it's a lot more obvious when stuff like that first aid spray is an interactable item. I don't think there's anything to interact with at all down here, is there? Oh. No, just defective products. But yeah, the problem with tank control games, though, is the sort of where you sometimes change perspective and then your controls need to change. Which, when you get the hang of it, if you kind of know how the camera's going to change, it's fine. But if you're used to games where, you know, Alright, Darth Trudeau. I had, yesterday wasn't too bad, but I had a really nasty, like, getting rid of the last of my coffee over the last couple of days. Like, I was a bit feverish as well. But the worst of it, I definitely think, is over now. Right, typewriters for saving. Oh, will you take the gunpowder A? Yes. There's another gunpowder A. Right, which combinations of gunpowder can you do with the press, or is it, Okay, so gunpowder A makes pistol ammo, but that's made us 30, yeah, so 60 in total pistol ammo, so that's good. If I remember right, I'll just keep a load of this stuff in the crate, because you don't really need it. Also, on easy you get infinite saves. You get the Magnum from the start as well. Okay, that's a bit OP. I think that's probably why they added an easy mode, because of how hard this game was on the normal difficulty. So this, yeah, is easy hard, and easy is easier than the PS1 mode, and I don't know if hard is harder. Right, so we'll put that away, and the single spray. Oh, when I read that, I think it adds it to the file, doesn't it? So we'll just read it. Yeah, I've already figured out how to use the gunpowder machine. So yeah, A is handgun rounds, B is shotgun shells. So you can't do like A plus A. It has to be combinations of A in another letter, or like B in another letter, okay. So what's the difference between, like, normal caviar and red caviar? Is it red caviar's the cheaper one or something? Again, I've never really had caviar anyway, but... Oh, I still need to get round to playing that, Rajiv, because I've got, I bought it, but I haven't played it yet. I don't know if I've got the 9mm to actually use yet, have I? Because you start off with... So what's in the save? Yeah, so on easy you start with... Oh, you do get the handgun. You get... Yeah, the problem is, like, easy is too easy in this. In terms of how much starting gear you get. Right, so I'm not going to bother with the knife, because I'm shit at using the knife in old Resident Evil games. Do I want to put the... Probably I want to put the rifle away for now, don't I? And just have loads of handgun rounds, I assume. And did I save yet or not? Yeah, I did save, didn't I? Can I cancel? Yeah, do not save again. I don't need to use it again. I know it gives me less inventory spaces, but I might... Do I want to keep the imp ribbons on me? Again, because I haven't played classic Resident Evil in so long, I'm trying to remember how you need to do the inventory management in this. Nah, screw it. Let's put the ink ribbons in there, because in most safe rooms you get the chest, don't you? So there's probably no point. So yeah, the difference between easy on this and like I said, because the weird thing is I think PS1 was only literally like the one difficulty. And this is similar, I think, to when I last played this on PC, even though it wasn't on Steam at that point. It was just a case of, she's got the Beretta 92, doesn't she? But it's like the, so in Easy you get a load of the weapons with a load of ammo and, like, infinite ink ribbons from in the safe house to begin with. Whereas in, like, the old Resident Evil, it was a case of, like, at least the PS1 version, I think, where, like, you know, you always only started off with the rifle and maybe, like, a couple of mags for it. Code Veronica. Yeah, they're actually doing a remake now of Code Veronica and Zero again, aren't they? Right. I definitely want to make sure I discard keys when it says you no longer use it, because otherwise they just waste inventory space. So yeah, just to remind myself, it is R2 or R1 to aim. Yeah, this is definitely easier with the PlayStation controller than it was trying to use this with the keyboard. With the really weird keyboard control scheme where it was like X to aim or something. But, what's Star's bike? This is nothing strange. I mean, it's a bit strange that there's a, like a push bike. Whatever. The one that I wish you could get running better on modern systems is Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare, which is kind of like a good Resident Evil type clone, because the old Alone in the Dark came out where does this go then? That isn't where I just came from, is it? So. Yeah, like I said, with this Resident Evil, the zombies are much faster than Resident Evil 1. But like I said, I know you get a lot more ammo in this game, so it's much more of one where it's kind of built around an action mechanic, free. Because again, where people like Resident Evil 4 was the first action one, I think they were slowly turning into that, even with the old series anyway. Oh, so this is where you would have got the shotgun initially. So I am going to take it, because I'm, like with this, I don't want to use too many of the guns, even though I'm playing on easy, that you'd get through, like, the chest. Because, you know, like I said, I want to play it trying to do the ammo and everything properly, even if, So, when I came out the alleyway and I've come down this bit... Oh, it's just, this bit just loops around, doesn't it? So it's like you could go one of either way to, Oh well. We'll figure out the layout a bit more as I go on. I don't have to worry about Nemesis till I get to the police station, if I remember right. Oh, did I blow up that woman with a barrel? Oh, he's crawling. Is there actually a way of reloading without, I think she's been chewed up now. And now I'm back to where I was, wasn't I, right at the beginning? So yeah, it is just a street that loops round. don't know where she got eaten then, because I thought she'd have run around that corner, but I got all the zombies around that corner anyway. Oh, can I interact with that police car because it's got a funny looking door? No, a wrecked car is blocking the way. But yeah, because they're remaking Resident Evil 0, I am genuinely hoping that that plays better than the old 0. Because like I said, the annoying thing with the old Resident Evil 0 is it's one of those games... Ah, that's cool, Kevin. I'll have to look into getting that in a few days. But yeah, what was I going to say? With Resident Evil 0 is it's... That's not an interactable crank, is it, on the ground there? No. It has very weird kind of gameplay mechanics, 0. So it's one of those ones where if they remake it and change the gameplay a lot, it might be a lot better. Will you take the herb? Right, I'm going to see if I can immediately combine them so I don't waste 2 inventory spaces. Oh, that was map. Okay, circle. No, I think this is the one direction I've not gone in yet. I can still hear zombies munching on stuff, so... Oh yeah, she can barge into them in this as well, can't she? Which is better than you used to be able to do in the old Resident Evil, where there was like no... I don't know if you can reliably barge though. But yeah, like I said, that's Road to Vostok I'll definitely pick up at some point. Even if it takes me a while to properly get round to playing it. Right, was there anywhere else I can go? Because I'm trying in this to make sure I don't, you know, like miss bits, if that makes sense. Because the problem with these old sort of Resident Evil games is quite often when you advance to sort of an area later on, you then can't go back to, you know, earlier areas. Oh, is that a city map around there? Uptown map, yes. Yeah, like I said, I'm definitely probably going to get it. Yeah, it's just a case of sort of when I got time, because I've got my granddad's funeral on Thursday, so it's one of those things where I probably won't get much of a chance to play it till after then. And then I think like, you know, on the Friday and maybe one of the weekend days I've got stuff on. But like I said, at least the worst part of where I had like a bit of a fever and that's passed now. Because I was planning on doing videos at the weekend and that, and then Friday, I felt fine Friday morning, other than a bit of a sore throat. As Friday went on, I felt more and more kind of just lethargic. And then, like most of the weekend, I was in bed, you know, with quite a fever and that. But it's at least seemed now like my body's finally burnt through the, you know, like sort of infection I had going on. Where it actually feels like the cold I had is properly going now. Whereas prior to that, it was just lingering on and on and on. So I'm assuming it just got to the point where it tripped my immune system to go into like nuke mode, which made me feel really ill, but at least it's actually, you know, gave me a temperature and burnt it out. It's called sexual assault if I do that to a woman. Right, so yeah, can I... Yeah, she doesn't take damage that fast, does she? Because I've been bitten twice now and I'm still in fine. So can I do, like, combine... Yes, you can reload it through the inventory, even though I don't think there's a quick button reload. So is that what I need a crank for? Yeah, so I need a crank to get through there. that on the bar? Can I interact with it? Looks like it should be interactable. Oh yeah, because Clock Tower is a place later in the game. That wasn't in the remake at all, annoyingly, the Clock Tower. Handgun bullets, yes. Right, can I now combine yeah, hopefully I can use the 21 up that are on the loose slot first. So yeah, I don't know, can I combine the lighter fluid straight away? Yeah, good, I can. Okay. So that way I'm not wasting 2 inventory slots. Right, so I'm back in this place. Yeah, that's the problem. Like, the Resident Evil 2 remake is really good, and I like bits of the free one, but I was just annoyed that, like I said, that the clock tower, like, isn't in the game at all, and then you don't get, like, it's like a different umbrella place at the end, which I don't think is as cool as the one in Resident Evil 3, because, like, the one in Resident Evil 3 is like some water treatment body disposal plant place. Whereas in the remake, it was just meant to look like a futuristic lab, where in this one it's like some horrible, grimy, industrial, like, acid, you know, acid pit kind of place. So again, I think you lose a lot of the tone of the game when you do stuff like that. Right, so I might be able to unlock that door there. So where's the RPD gonna be? Let's see about going up this, wherever it was, like, gantry bit. I just passed, yeah, there. Okay, so this is just literally to get herbs up here. Oh, I suppose that's not too bad if you're getting, paid to do that and you don't have to unload in the rain. It's like one of my friends that's a truck driver. He sometimes has days apparently where he's paid his full wage, but he has to sit around waiting for other workmen to do stuff. So, like, compared to his old job, you know, where he had to do loads and loads of drops in the yeah, exactly. Mr. X in the remake of 2 is more like Nemesis was in original 3, isn't it? Like saying, Rich. And that's as well why, like, people were, I think, hoping that Nemesis in the remake of 3 was going to be a lot more like chasing you around the entire game. But yeah, so yeah, like, my mate who's the truck driver, it's a similar thing with him, Kevin, that on his old job he was, like, pressured to do as many drops as possible, but apparently, like, with the current company that hires him, if he can only safely do one job or whatever, and he's told he then has to wait at a work site for a couple of hours because they're not ready for him, like, he's paid to just sit there. So he said it's great, because, you know, some days he barely has to do any work, but is paid a full day's wage. Yeah, again, these are the sort of games that look good on CRT, things like this. Did I find the crank that was for that thing? No, I still need to find the crank. Right, so on the map, where am I? Right, let's... So, I'm just checking which doors I haven't unlocked yet. Some of these, like, shortcut doors. Other ones are, so they're going to break through there, aren't they, when I get close enough? Oh yeah, you can do the quick turn in this, which is great. Yeah, I've probably wasted that barrel a bit there, that's all right, I've got loads of handgun ammo, might as well lower the amount I've got. Yeah, because again, in this, there are points in the game which really get you if you've you know, you use the old Resident Evil formula, like the bit where he jumps through the window and then actually can chase you through the door, because like that's where I was expecting, like when I was playing this as a little kid. Oh, you know, again, I think my grandma bought me this game when she was alive, rather than my actual parents. But yeah, oh, I can't combine two red. I was like, oh shit, I've filled my inventory up now. Right, where's the nearest safe room? Oh, good, there's one coming up just there after I've burnt the, yeah. Oh, I didn't want to keep interacting with that, I wanted to... And again, they could have added a thing that if they had a difficulty mode in Resident Evil 3 Remake, they could make it like he has a higher chance of spawning in. Because I think there's a bit in this bit later in the game when Nemesis turns up. I don't know if I got the dog yet. Putting my ATF training to good use. The auto-aim is also quite forgiving in this one, which is good. Alright, I think that's both the dogs dead. Because, yeah, with, obviously with the tank controls, it's quite hard to aim, but you can actually, like I said, sort of, as long as you're aiming close enough, fuck's sake, Kevin. That's quite funny though. Right, right, I want to put the red herbs away because I got no use for them. That's kind of an FS looking knife as well, that. Let's just get out to have a look at it if it lets me look at it better in, like, closer up. And I'll put one of the herbs away just a minute because I don't really need, I know, it's more of a classic stiletto. Self-defense, oh, you can't use that as an excuse in the UK, Jill. I won't keep the knife on me because I've got so many guns and ammo playing this on easy that the knife's a wasted inventory space. And I don't think you really need it in this one. Because I know in like the first Resident Evil it is one of those things where it comes in a lot more useful if you're like very good at timing it for just ammo preservation for then the tougher enemies. Right, let's get the reloading tool out as well because I think that's gunpowder, isn't it, on there? Right, let's combine those and then gunpowder C combined with the thing, and what does it make? Grenade rounds I can't use yet, right. Should have just made the pistol rounds and the shotgun rounds, but never mind. That's nice, Caleb. Yeah, like I said, I was a bit ill over Easter, but I think at least now I've finally had like a fever that's got rid of most of that annoying infection I had for ages. Because it seems to, like with mine, like my body eventually got to the point where it's like, fuck you, I'm going to give you a fever, so I'm going to get rid of, you know, like your infection, which is actually good in the end, but I wish it hadn't happened over Easter. But again, it's better it happens when you haven't got much on than when you've got stuff on. But yeah, no, we're not making fun of the special needs kids. We're just making noises of brain dead flesh eaters. Oh, how dare you call her special needs kid brain dead flesh eaters? Right, so I've saved the game, haven't I? Because again, this game only has save points when you use the typewriters, so like I said, I wanted to make sure I don't forget to save in their save points, because otherwise I have to load the game back quite far if I die. Right, so we can go into this alleyway. We can also go this way to the sales office. Oh no, we can't go to the sales office because of the fire, can we? So we have to go this way. Is that the RPD coming up soon, or? Let's does it say? Lock with simple lock. Oh yeah, because I need to get her lockpick from the RPD. Because apparently she can't lockpick a simple lock. Right, so Nemesis is going to turn up for the first time now, which is obviously why that's saving there. Let's get the shotgun out. I should have brought some more shotgun shells and see if we can deal with him the first time round. Ah yeah, True Crime NYC, that had a really big ambitious map, didn't it? But the problem was it was quite an empty map with not much happening on it. So it was like one of those games that's quite technically impressive when it came out, even if... Yeah, I haven't played it since it like came out or was like reduced in price quite soon after it came out. Fight with a monster, even though I don't think there's any advantage in it, or he might drop some items. Oh. Come on, get up. It's gonna keep curve stomping me, look. Right. Oh no, she's still fine. Okay. I'm not very good at the dodging controls, which is part of the problem. Right, I need to use a medkit finally now, because she's gone down to caution. Right, I need to switch to the pistol if I've got enough pistol ammo to actually... I should have enough pistol ammo, it's just I don't know... he's probably not going to take much damage, is he, from the pistol? Problem is, like I said, I don't really know the dodging mechanic well enough in this. Because it seems like sometimes she dodges automatically and sometimes she doesn't. Oh, I finally got him. Oh no, he's getting back up. Right, do I need to heal again? Oh, he got me even on easy, did he? Maybe go purple. Okay, that's kind of interesting. I think some, like, the Mafia games and that did a similar thing. Right, tell you what, if we're going to actually try and fight Nemesis, I'm a bit shit at it, let's bring a load of shotgun shells out. Resident Evil 3. So it's kind of like a semi-sequel to Resident Evil 2, as in they reused a lot of Resident Evil 2's assets for it, but it was a lot more kind of action-y, where Resident Evil 1 and 2 were much slower paced. But Nemesis in this is quite creepy for the time, because he can follow you through loading screens. So if you just try and run from Nemesis a lot of the time, you actually have to run quite far before you actually properly get away from him. Right, so let's put that away. And again, the problem wasn't healing, it was healing in time. So, tell you what, let's just take a shitload of shotgun shells. I don't need the lighter, do I, again, till after Nemesis, so I'll just do this as is, and I'll just keep using the shotgun on him. Yeah, the annoying thing is, well, the remake of Resident Evil 2 was really good, Capcom did. We were on about this earlier in the stream. The Resident Evil 3 remake felt kind of really half-arsed compared to this, you know, original one. So this is a case of, even though this has been out for ages, they, for whatever reason, Capcom finally ported it to Steam. It's a very VW Golf looking car, that. Yeah. Yeah, because, basically, spoilers, Jill escapes about the time the city gets nuked, the same as Leon and Claire. So, yeah, I'm not... Does she go into the police station before Leon and Claire get there, I assume? Or maybe slightly after them. I actually quite like the remake of 4, but I know a lot of people don't. And again, I don't sort of feel too strongly either way. Because it's one of those ones where I think, you know, it's a bit pointless to argue about that, because some people, you know, like I said, like that one, some people don't, but again, the original Resident Evil 4 is very good, but oh, I'm stuck on the spot. Okay, I can do that to go backwards. But I can't if I'm against the wall, okay. Right, so the dodge, I think, is you have to press square at the same moment. Yeah, let me get out the corner then, dickhead. I'm still fine, apparently, somehow. Fucking the big... I think he's broken. Oh. There we go. Yeah, a lot easier using just the shotgun on him. Right, now we can use one of the pack of free first aid sprays, because that finally uses up a bit less room. Now, if I remember right, the reason you're meant to fight him in places rather than run away is you can sometimes get items you couldn't otherwise get, could you? It depends how far the camera away is I'm talking to it. And if I'm doing a video where I need to wear glasses, like to look at stuff, like on here on the stream, I'm reading the chat off the screen there. That's not huge, so I need glasses because I'm short-sighted. That would be too blurry without them. But if I'm doing a video on a gas mask, say, where the glasses would get in the way anyway, I'm not just going to wear them for the video. And my eyesight's got, yeah, exactly, Rich. And my eyesight's got worse over time. Not like stupidly worse, stupidly fast. But it has got worse in the sense that, you know, like a few years ago, I didn't need a strong prescription. Yeah, I'm short-sighted, so again, it depends what I'm doing. So, like, without my glasses, where it says a card of some kind is inside this card case, fine, and the stuff there, I can kind of read that text fine. It actually looks less like aliased without my... It kind of is like having shit-tier anti-aliasing without the glasses on. But yeah, when it's small text, I'm not as good. I assume by getting the STARS card here, I can do something with it in the police station, can't I? I can probably use it to open a door that I otherwise couldn't have got if I just ran away from Nemesis here. But I think sometimes when you kill Nemesis, in these bits, if you choose to fight him, the pro versus the con of doing it is the, what's the word for it? Like, sometimes he drops, I think, like, unique ammo or whatever. So, you know, like, he might drop ammo that would have, in theory, been more ammo than it would have been for you to have killed him, if that makes sense. If you know, like, he might drop a load of grenade launcher ammo. Right, can you combine 3 herbs? Yeah, so 3 herbs are equal to 1 first aid spray, aren't they? Yeah, I was going to check I was fine, but yeah. Trying to do more duty. I think this room's technically a safe room, though, isn't it? At the back. Even though it's got creepy music in it. It's rare, creepy music. I know it's the same music from Resident Evil 2. Oh, again, slightly too many to stack on the other stack. Oh, no. Oh, I watched a zombie movie that was quite interesting yesterday. So this is a safe room, but is there not a safe box in this safe room? Oh, we'll use the STARS card. Okay. So I could use that to get on to here. Right, I assume because it said the safe code is 0513, and if you guys try and remember 0513 for me, I'll see if it might be a case that, like I said, by using that I've got access to something, Can I go back out here because I killed Nemesis? No, Kevin. I've got experience with a K3, which is... Nah, it's not great, not terrible, in the sense that it's sort of a rip-off of the C50, and the rubber and the straps are very good, but the plastic kind of lenses and that are crap on it. I think I might have been lent a K1 at one point and did an old video on it, and if I remember right, it was kind of just fine, if that makes sense. It was one of those masks that, you know, like, there was nothing exceptional about it, but nothing bad about it either. It's wasting some of my handgun ammo now. Thanks, Rich, yeah. Oh, there they are. Hopefully in a minute, though, I'll have drained handgun of enough ammo that all my ammo stacks into one pile again. Oh my god, still 3 rounds over. Yeah, probably not, but like I said, it's definitely not as good as an S10. I think it's like closest in comparison to something like an Israeli 4A1, where it's like, if you had it as a civilian, it's a pretty damn good government-issued civilian mask, but it still, if I remembered right, has, you know, a kind of cheapness feel to it that a lot of proper masks don't have. Right, that guy's dead already, and he's still alive, isn't he, when you meet him as Leon? So this is based a bit after some of the bits in Resident Evil 2 then. Oh, shotgun shells. Yeah, I will take shotgun shells because yeah, they're actually useful. Right. But yeah, it's like with the Korean K3. It's like I said, the rubber and that on it is very good, but the plastic lenses are awful. As in, the lenses. No, isn't it like Carlos or somebody goes to the RPD in the remake? I think instead of her. I can't remember. But yeah. So like in the I'm just going to see if this is the room with the lockers that could be opened. 0513, right, thank you, Rich, for reminding me of it. I think with Brad's thing then, it might actually be a thing that it's like made this area faster, where I don't have to go all the way to one bit to get something to go back somewhere else. Not that it really matters. That zombie's not too bad looking. But, she's getting back up. But what was I going to say? But yeah, like the K3 has the problem where the eye lenses scratch really easily, and some of the plastic snapped off on like the front where the voice diaphragm is. Like the actual valves are still fine, so it's not like, you know, they've broken. Alright, so this is the corridor from Resident Evil 2, which I think is just a dead end in this one. Is that a licker or a dog? Oh, it's a dog. Oh, hi, doggy. I did not shoot her. I did not. Yeah, exactly. If you have an M50, like saying the K3 is literally the C50 M50 with... It's basically a C50 without the panoramic lens and cheaper quality plastic. like I said, the rubber feels fine on the straps, and I think the K1, if I remember right, is like a similar thing, where, so yeah, this corridor is basically a useless dead end, isn't it? It's, am I going here then? But yeah, so, but the K1, if I remember right, I don't remember the plastic being too bad on it, but I think it was just one of those things a bit like a 4A1. Can't carry anymore. Oh, so that's Jill's old Stars card. So I assume I'd have had to come here to get that 0513. It's a bit of a kinky picture, isn't it, on the fireplace? It's like somebody shackled with their boobs out and like a cloth over their head. I'm just going to see if there's a reason to pick up Jill's card, because I can put it in the safe room anyway in a minute. But yeah, so speaking of zombie film I watched the other day that was alright, what was it called? We Bury the Dead. It's from about a year ago. It had Daisy Ridley in it. And it's about, like, in Australia, the Americans accidentally deploy a weapon that turns kills the majority of people, but turns some people into zombies. And it was alright, because it was kind of, you know, just like a bit more of a better thought out zombie movie than some zombie movies are. So is the door to that safe room under the stairs? Oh, hello. Oh, I can make use of one of my med things in a minute. No, she's still fine, but I need to... Yeah, fuck it. There we go. Right, I can actually save the game here. Right, gunpowder A, yes, because I can make more actual stuff with it. Is there anything else in that locker? No. So this one's actually a proper safe room, the other one isn't. Well, it kind of is. It's I think it's a safe room, technically, but it doesn't have the magic item box in it. Right, we'll put the gunpowder away, because I don't need that for now. I'll put the medkits away for now, because I don't think I'm really going to need them in here. So I can save the game in there. Now, can you use the dark room in this one? I can't remember if it's Resident Evil 2 or 3 with the Rebecca Chambers Easter egg in, if you search the desk like 50 times. That's a shame, Kevin. Like I said, so that lasted longer than the typical French ARFAs last, but yeah, I need to check mine and see how orange the visor's going. But yeah, that's the problem with masks, where they seem to decide to, you know, make the visors out of a flexible rubber. They always seem to kind of discolour and sort of fade out, sort of fog up. Because, like I said, the US had the problem as well with... That's a big fat zombie, that one. So the US had that with the MCU 2P and the other MCU model. I think they fixed that with the MSA Millennium, but I'm not sure, because I never got one. But I know as well other historic masks that have had like flexi rubber kind of visors have had that issue. Oh, for people interested, there's like a 13-minute gas mask video tomorrow on this thing. If you want spoilers for the video, the filter on it is actually pretty decent. The hood is pretty crap, but no worse than some other escape hoods I've reviewed before. but for like £10 or whatever it cost with the postage, it was worth getting to do a video on it. You know, is this where you use this? No. Anything further down here? Some red herbs, which I really don't need. Again, because I'm playing on easy, it's not like you kind of want to use... Alright, yeah. I can now discard this key, thank you. Yeah, yes. Does Rebecca's medkit have any medical stuff in? Oh, it actually does, okay. I won't take that for now, just because I'm pretty limited on inventory space. Now, I can't remember if it's this one. I'm going to check on my phone if it's this one or two with the Easter egg in it, because if it's this one of it, I can do, do I have to keep hitting X every time? Oh, I think it's Resident Evil 2, the Easter egg. Yeah, rather than this one. So I think if I keep searching it, it's not going to do anything. Oh, handgun ammo. Oh, but now I've probably got a stupidly large amount on it. Let me just double check it's not this one before I leave this point in the game, because otherwise I won't be able to show you on the stream the Easter egg. It might be Resident Evil 2, not 3. They use 60mm filters, Kevin, but you can get working adapters for those, because lots of militaries actually made 60 to 40mm filters. And as far as I'm aware, Finnish 60mm filters, if they're not leaking, are perfectly safe. Finnish M61s are pretty damn good. They're like a much better version of the US M9A1. It's basically where the Finns made an M9A1, but made it out of higher quality rubber and like elastic straps. No, it is Resident Evil 2 for the Easter egg, so yeah, if I just kept spamming the desk, I'd just waste my time doing it. I thought she said that was out of commission when I last went past it. Yeah, the first gas mask I ever got was a Nokia M61. again, with the M61s, you might get one made by Nokia, or you might get one made by another company. But yeah, Nokia that made phones also made them. What is the diaphragm thing looking like on the front? Because generally you never see the V1s for sale. The V2s have like a rubber, just little exhaust valve like the M9. And the M3, or like the V3, has the plastic thing with the voice diaphragm as well on it. Although the V3 doesn't have a very good voice diaphragm, so it's kind of like a side grade. You get a voice diaphragm on it, but it's a potential weak point of the mask. Although you can repair it if you have glue, it's just, you know, if it fell apart in the field, you're a bit fucked. See, I thought that gem was used there, unless that gem is used in the clock tower thing later on. It might be that. That might have been just a completely separate thing. I'm assuming there's not really any use for Jill's card now, so I'll just put it in the storage. Yeah, that breaking glass noise isn't good. This is a really good jump scare coming up. Spoiler in a moment. Oh, see, that's now a loading screen on those stairs and it wasn't before. Yeah, I'm just going to quick save in here first. Then we'll deal with him. Yeah, it's probably the one. Again, it's annoying because I can't easily get it down or turn the camera to face it. But it's probably the V3 model, which is to be honest, is the better model. It's just that kind of be careful if you take the cover off, because it's one of those ones where, due to age, if you take the cover off, the sealant then might have deteriorated, and when you put the cover back on, it's not going to reseal. I'll tell you what I can do, just to be, let me just pause this a minute. I don't know if that even pauses it, but let me get you a picture of the V3 one up, and you can tell me if it's the version it looks like. So, M61 gas mask V3. Yeah, I can have a look, but I can tell you, does it look like this particular one? There's one that's $30 in Military Mart that looks like this. If it's got that like voice diaphragm thing on, I'm just going to Alt Tab to see if that's visible on the thing properly, or is that brightness fucked where you can't see it? Hang on, come on, I'll turn the brightness down on my phone, hang on. Right, oh, that almost looks alright then, just as I took it away. So if it's the one that looks like this, with the plastic, the black plastic thing with the Finnish like defense tower logo on it, that's the V3 variant. Yeah, so that's the one with the voice diaphragm, which is kind of cool, because like I said, the other variant is like this. Like, there's technically one that's, I think, more like a direct clone of the US M9, but that's actually even rarer to find, because I think they started doing the upgraded models really quickly again. Lighting is not good there. But yeah. But anyway, like the older models had just a rubber exhale valve, like flap cover. Then yeah, the later ones had that, and like I said, the later ones, like I said, are probably better. You just have to be careful that, like I said, when you get it, you check that there's an airtight seal with the like voice diaphragm disc, because how they work is, unlike the Soviet voice diaphragms that have like a rubber washer around them, the Finnish one is essentially like glued in place, and then the metal just vibrates when you talk, which is fine. But with mine, for example, the thing was on upside down, which annoyed me. Then when I took that off, the airtight seal broke, you know, to put it round the right way, because obviously the glues are dried up inside, so as soon as the cover was removed, it like broke the seal. But I was able just to get some like universal glue, put it in a ring around the outside the diaphragm, push it back in, put the cover on, and it's good as new now. But like I said, that's the only reason I'd say with those that you have to kind of think a bit more about them than the V2 version, because that is obviously a failure point of the mask. Right, what don't I need in a minute, because I'm going to be dealing with Nemesis, so tell you what, that'll do. Let's put both those cards away. Actually, no, let's not put Jill's card away. Which one's Jill's card? Is it the bottom one? Because they both actually technically have the same picture. Yeah, just because this particular one, Jill's one, I'll try on the PC. Yeah, like I said, they're cool masks because they're based off the USM9 and they're a really, really good high quality copy of them. You know, like I say, it's kind of interesting when you get a foreign copy of something that's better than the original, but that is better than the USM9 by a mile. Who's actually got the rocket launcher? Oh shit. Oh, I've not got any healing things on me, have I? Shit, okay. Oh, I don't want to run upstairs. He's probably going to chase me. He doesn't die till right at the end of the game. He keeps coming fucking back, which is why he's called Nemesis. Oh, there's a first aid spray in the office, isn't there? Although if he chases me up the stairs, he'll probably get me before I get to the office. Yeah, hang on. Oh, okay, that was good timing. Well, let's still use the first aid spray in the office. Has he dropped anything on him? It's kind of weird how he has like a blood texture on his rocket launcher. But yeah, so the M9 is a really cool mask, so it was kind of like the US's stupidly well-designed mask before the M17. The only thing with the M9s is they've got the really big nose with the dead space in them, which is a bit pointless. But other than that, very good strap system, very good seal around your face, quite comfortable, especially the finished one because it's good quality rubber. Yeah, I was going to say I'll get it down because it's going to be dusty. Even if I reach to get it down, I won't be able to put on while cleaning it. I have got some videos on the M9 on my channel anyway. And like that one. I haven't tried the Swedish copy of it, but I heard that's also quite good. I can't remember if Norway had a copy. Iraq had a copy, I think. Serbia had a copy. Because I've got the Yugoslav and the Serbian copies of it. And again, like the Finnish ones, they have... But the weird thing is, the Yugo ones, they start off as a 60mm mask, the Yugo M59/M1, then it becomes 40mm of the M2, and the M3, which is like the M2 with a voice diaphragm like this Finnish one, but the Finnish ones are always 60mm. But yeah, you should be able from any of those US sites, if they've got them in stock, Kevin, be able to get the proper 60 to 40mm adapters as well. And like I said, they're quite useful because it means that you can use the mask with modern 40mm filters and it'll work absolutely fine. Because unlike the 3D printed stuff that doesn't work, like these were things that actual proper armies, you know, like made in big numbers when they went to 40mm filters because they sell a lot of 60mm masks in service. So the idea was that, you know, so they didn't have to completely get rid of or like keep two stocks of filters in at once. They essentially made a thing so they could retrofit the older masks with modern filters while they slowly phased out the 60mm masks. So it's... what room is it I want? The very back end one. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, the adapters are really useful because they're genuinely like well-made, either plastic or metal ones that, you know, are airtight, because they're not like somebody's made it with a 3D printer. They're like properly made parts, and yeah, they let you then like I said, use it with modern filters. Because like I said, the funny thing is the finished masks are still stupidly good quality, because again, it was made, like I said, they were made by Nokia or similar companies. Like, very good quality rubber, very good quality elastic straps. Most people I know have ever tried them can still get a good face fit with them, because at least the finished ones are quite well made, where they seem to fit basically any type of face if you pull the straps tight enough. Alright, let's see if Jill's card does anything on the computer. No, so Jill's card is literally... So the thing is about getting Brad's card was it basically meant you could have skipped finding Jill's card if you wanted to, but that was it. Now, if I pause this a second, I won't stream this for stupidly much longer today. So I've been on a while, but while my throat holds out, I'll still be on a bit longer. I was just trying to remember if in one of my drawers down here, I had some of those finished filters. But I think I might have moved those elsewhere. Because yeah, this is a 40mm filter, this one, so it's not one of those. But at one point I had a load of spare finished filters as well. Because at one point they were ones that, you know, on the UK surplus market you could pick the finished filters up for like less than £10 a filter when they were still sealed. And they still, yeah, and they still made those filters up until the 90s, I think. Because, yeah, funnily enough, although this is like the US police version without the drinking tube, this is the mask Finland replaced them with. The Scott, is it Scott M90 or Scott M95, something like that? I think it's an M95, isn't it? I know this has a different designation because it's like the police one. But, yeah, again, it was a pretty good mask. That's a weird thing you mentioned pennies today, Brown Street, because I had to go with my dad for him to sell some of his old, like, sovereigns off. Because the problem is, like, although he's physically was able to go and sell them, because they do like ID checks on you because of money laundering and that, if you sell a shitload of proper like coins at a silver and gold value. Right, do I want to use that safe room or not? Might as well. Because of that reason, they like, what do you call it, like, he's already got rid of his, but like I said, he like I said, got rid of his today. But it was the funny thing that because like I guess because of tax reasons and whatever else, the government doesn't like the idea of people getting rid of a load of coins for cash value without taking a load of ID details. Right, we'll put the excess shotgun shells away. I'll get the ammo maker out. Does go back to the bottom. But yeah, like my dad used to collect coins. It's just because so many of them now are so valuable for their gold and like silver content. He wanted to yeah, this was the thing. Some of the coins he didn't sell because again, the ones where even if they were quite old coins that, you know, are cool for historic value, some of them aren't worth very much from a metals value. So again, some of the ones he took back today, but he sold most of his ones that were, you know, like cool old valuable coins. But the nice thing is I don't think these are ones that are actually getting melted down. I think they're, you know, like ones where the company will then try and resell them in private auctions and stuff like that. But it was good because he could go in bulk, you know, and they could test them and go, yeah, that's genuine gold. You know, we will offer you this for it today. And they offered the actual price of gold per gram and like silver per gram, plus the value of like what the coin is worth historically on top. So it wasn't a case, because my dad, I think, tried to sell them. He was saying, like last week when there was a coin thing in our local area, and I think he said like they were so like stingy with the prices, he was like, fuck you, I'm not selling any of them. But because these people were like very upfront about what they pay and all that, he was like, yeah, might as well. Because one of my mates wanted to buy it, he put it to the side and didn't get rid of it today. He has a King George III silver coin. Yeah, give him out a bank and he'll rob everyone. Yeah, exactly, Rich. But yeah, so because again, it's like not worth a huge amount even with its silver value. He was like, oh yeah, if your mate wants to give me 25 quid for it, he can buy it next time he's over. So it's an 1828? George III coin. Although this is at the point when George III was completely fucking it's the drained Emios, whatever they're called, you know, like a lunatic, and it was technically his son, who was the Prince Regent, who was in charge, even though he wasn't officially king. So it's like one of those kind of weird historical things like that as well. There's the fire hose. Oh, it's fixed with bolts, so I guess I can't take it off without a wrench or something. Right, blue herbs are the anti-poison ones, aren't they? So the fact these are turning up means I'm probably going to end up getting poisoned quite soon. Right, I'll take both, and then only use one at a time if I need to. I'm the ATF now. Oh yeah, I didn't bring the extra ammo for that, did I? I'll just go to the handgun. Right, so I got rid of one of my night vision units to a friend because stuff like night vision I'm trying to be very careful about selling, so I did save this, I think I've said a while ago. So I sold that to a friend because I could at least sell it him for cash. He could test it out and decide if he wanted it or not. But yeah. Dogs don't do very well in these games, do they, Rich? Because in The Last of Us as well, Ellie likes killing dogs. Yeah, so I sold a night vision unit to one of my mates. Another mate, next time I see him, is interested in my really old FLIR scope, so it's quite a low res one. But he's interested in that because it's made by actual FLIR as opposed to, you know, like some Chinese brand or whatever. And again, like I said, I have no use for this because the Chinese thermal built into my phone is a better resolution thermal. And I've got the guide thermal somewhere, which is like a higher res Chinese thermal that's like the FLIR one. I might actually just combine these. Oh, I can't combine them, okay. So I've not got enough inventory space now. And then, yeah, like I said, because I've got all the funeral now coming up soon, is once that's out the way is when I'm going to probably start trying to you know, move a load more stuff, but at the moment I'm more focused on getting the funeral sorted and all that. Right, I can combine a green and blue. Can I buy two greens and blue now? At least this is a safer now, isn't it? So oh, I can combine a red and a blue, can't I? No, I can't. Again, what's the reds do? Do you just use them for single green to make it a better green? I can't remember. Anyway, let's put that away then. Okay, well, let's put the shotgun and the shotgun shells away. And instead, let's put the handgun, I was going to say, put the handgun and the ammo away for the handgun. Then I might as well take the rifle and all of the mags for the rifle that you start the game off with. Because I don't think the rifle is actually that good in this. As in, I think it's similar damage to the pistol, it's just automatic. So I'll take these handgun ammos just to put in my, like, lockbox. Use the increment, yes. Save the game. Just overwrite that alley one. Okay, yeah, that is more useful than the pistol just for the crowd control reason. Right, and what happens if I combine this here? Does it just, yeah, lowers the percentage in the other mag again? Yeah, this scope I sold my friend is a spotting scope rather than the rifle-mounted scope. But it's, the British Gen 2 IMI 101 scope, and it's really good for a Gen 2 because of how good the lenses were in it and like the actual tubes. So it's kind of like it's kind of my Gen 2 Plus is a side grade to this one, because my Gen 2 Plus, although it's got a better actual NVG and micro channel plate in it, it's got lower quality optics and everything, so it doesn't let as much light in anyway. And sadly, pretty much all the British companies that were involved in the making of that particular scope of mine are dead now anyway. You know, as in, was sold to other companies and then liquidated. Spin round. Oh, I know, she's getting head fucked by it. Come on. She's not poisoned. Normally you get poisoned by them. Is it like not 100% chance they apply poison? I don't know if I want more bloody gunpowder at the moment. That's the problem this on easy. It's like, oh, there's so much gunpowder everywhere. Right, let's see what's up this way.
Scum!
He said scum. Maybe he was referring to the greenhouse scene. Yeah, and I suppose you're more likely, the older the scope is, the more likely it's going to be that you're going to have to replace parts in it, isn't it? Like sooner rather than later, because obviously capacitors and the things in them die out. Like generally the NVG tubes in those sort of things are really good. The issue is always just the other electronics around them. I mean, unless you get an idiot that, you know, decides to look at really bright lights on purpose with night vision scopes. I'm assuming I can't walk past that now because, yeah, electric. Danger, danger, high voltage. When kiss, when touch. I think if I remember right then, I need to find the square one to put in the other side that permanently, like, turns those jets off. So I can then you know, swap them, essentially. That might just be because of the numbers produced. But, like, with the British Army stuff, that's the funny thing as well, if I remember the British stuff, that the better Gen 1 stuff, the Gen 1 Plus, or the, Gen 2s turn up more commonly and cheaply than the Gen 1s. Because, you know, the Gen 1s, Britain didn't have as many of at the time or whatever. And again, depended on what the surplusing rules were like at the time. Is that more bloody gunpowder? Oh god, I don't need more gunpowder. Oh, there's something to read now. City Guide. So Michael Warren's like, isn't Umbrella great? Which I don't think is actually true. I think Nemesis turns up there again at one point, but obviously wasn't at this point I was just at. Yeah, I think one rifle round in this is equivalent to about one pistol round, but obviously the rifle's automatic. But again, you don't use much of the mag, do you, for even killing... So, this is a stupidly big mag in this for what should be like a 30 round mag or whatever. So... Again, killing 2 zombies with that, with 1 missed shot, used up 7% of a magazine. So... So yeah, it's army bullets, but they're stupidly big mags, apparently. Despite the fact they look like 30 round mags. Yeah, is that building site again? I hate zombies. They're cold and dead and get everywhere. Yeah, so... Okay, so this bit looped around both sides of the restaurant. Let's go to the other side of this building site place and see if there was something that I missed. Oh, I need a battery for it, don't I? Or maybe it was the cable from the other place. Right, so I think I want to go back this way, don't I? And then back this way, and I think... Was it the parking lot or somewhere there was an item I couldn't pick up because I didn't have the inventory space? Let's have a look. Just going to see if it actually looks like a 60 round. She's actually got a clip though as well next to the mag. But even if it was 60 rounds, right? Let's just shoot 3 rounds because it's at 100% capacity on the rifle and see how much it goes down by. Right, so 1, 2, 3. That's gone down 1% of the mag. So technically her mags, I'm trying to think how much that would be. What, like 300 rounds in a magazine or something? But yeah, the point is that they're magically big rounds in this AR. So it's kind of just like a funny thing of, like I said, so this is essentially, like I said, but the problem is that I don't know if you ever get more AR ammo in the game. It's one of those weird things where, you know, like, it's kind of useful as in... When you've got it, it's useful. But I can't remember with the ammo crafting. you can't take the battery. Unless it was this battery. So it's now saying, I think it's saying go to the restaurant. I think the flashing blue thing means kind of telling you where the point of interest is. Never mind, can't remember what I was going to say now. Oh yeah, I was going to check the ammo crafting guide to see if there was a combination you can do to make rifle ammo. Final... Was it game instructions B? Yeah. So, handgun bullets, shotgun shells, grenade rounds. Yeah, there's no combination that does assault rifle. Yeah, so you can make special grenade rounds, but you can't, So yeah, the assault rifle's the weird gun in this that's sort of like, once it's gone, I think. Might as well just keep, if I have the ink ribbon on me, just keep using it as I go past this place. I will put them on different files though, in case I cock something up and soft lock the game. Yeah, and does it look like the 50 round mag? And does it have like 20 rounds? And I'm trying to remember how many rounds it has in Left 4 Dead. I can't remember if it was like 20 or 30 or whatever. Alright, so that was just the map I should have grabbed when I first went past there. Yeah, I haven't played Left 4 Dead in ages, so I can't remember what the mag size was for it. I don't remember there being a FAW in Left 4 Dead, or was that Left 4 Dead 2, or like one of the expansions or whatever. So like, the problem is I haven't played Left 4 Dead in so long, I can't remember the variants. But I know in real life the FAW, like the FAW machine gun, like the FAL LMG variant, a bit like the RPK, had an even bigger like mag for it. Was it a Mini 14 or something? I can't remember in all honesty. But like I said, I know there was oh, is it maybe this thing I interact with? So I thought because this was flashing there was something I meant to interact with, but... Oh, it's the Scar. Yeah, is that Left 4 Dead 2? I mean, Scar is... The Scar H is technically like FN's successor to the FAW, isn't it? But yeah, like I said, I can't remember all the guns now. And I remembered there was some extra guns if you had Aussies playing with you. Because they got the cucked version of the game with a lot of the gore removed. As a, like, kind of, we're sorry from Valve, they added some of the Counter-Strike source guns in, which were, like, even better than the base game guns. I can't remember which ones it was. It might have been, like, one of the SIG 550s or something was one of them. But I remember if an Aussie joined you when you were playing, like, suddenly more guns just started spawning in. And they were just stupidly better. I don't know if they did the same thing for Germans as well, because I think the game had to be horribly censored in Germany as well. Have I just run around in a silly circle there? So, in the alleyway behind the restaurant... Oh, but can I get to the newspaper office where that is, or not? Because I can't see if I can actually go from that street to that street, or if that's... join up over there. The substation I can also get to. Yeah, I think that's the substation you have to get to, isn't it? All the way down there. So I'm assuming I might have to get to the substation to power that thing up before I can go further. So let's try that. That's the thing, because I haven't played this in ages, I can't, and the order of things is a bit different in the remake as well, and some bits are like taken out from the remake. I can't remember exactly, you know, like where you can and can't go in what order. That's a shame. Again, I don't know how good the Scar actually was, but like I said, it's just because it was kind of their successor to the FAO after so many years. It's just kind of a shame that's not a thing. And I know there was the Cow and some of the other ones, but and the FMC, but still. Right. No, I can't get from there to there because they're blocking the way. How do I get to the bloody substation then? From there, though, I can get to that road, which I might not have been down yet. Yeah, it might be that I meant to have gone down the way I've completely missed. So what were you building, Brown Street? Was it just an AR, did you say? Like two-part AR? Like an upper and a lower, or whatever it was? Or... The gun I always like the look of, and annoyingly I could have bought a DIAC one at one point when they used to be cheap. And I think in America they might have used to be cheap for the actual proper rifle. Was the Set-Me L, or whatever it was called. Like, so after the Set-Me, like the G3 was a thing, they made the 5.56 Set-Me, which was like a really cool looking thing. And sadly, I think that was like one of those ones that for ages, you know, was like kind of a really cheap surplus gun, and then it, you know, just... Oh, I think I just completely kept missing this alleyway each time I ran down here because of the camera angles. Right, let's have a look in the safe room then. But yeah, the Set-Me L I always liked, also because it's kind of like ugly but in a good way looking gun. It's kind of weird as well that the shotgun shells look like civilian shotgun shells but in a NATO ammo case. Because I'm always used to those ammo boxes being for like military rounds. Okay, right, so let's save the game again and grab this rusted crank. I know I can use that really close to the beginning of the game, I think, but I don't know if I can make much use of it until then, so this is override accident, do much. Is that a good or a bad price, Kevin? But I've always just liked the look of them, and the weird thing with them is I think Spain got rid of them because of reliability issues, but I think either Forgotten Weapons or In Range TV or one of those did like a video on them and found them to be like stupidly reliable when they were doing all the mud tests and that on them. But I think it might be just the luck of, you know, how well built one was and like how well the parts fit together and all that sort of shit. Oh, this is where I put like the gems, isn't it? Alright, cool, I can finally get rid of this one. Yeah, so not great, not terrible, but I just like the look of them. Yeah, but I know sadly it was one of those things, again, I think, again with Spain, where they had like their own kind of cool, unique 5.56 gun, and then because they had problems with that thing, they were like, alright then, just buy an AR. Kind of thing. And again, that's always sad. It's like the whole multicam being adopted over proper camouflages sort of thing. It's like, I like ARs, but I kind of don't want everything to just be replaced by ARs. Because you lose the kind of... No, I don't want to pick up that first aid spray at the moment, because otherwise, it will definitely be in the way. Right, I need to get up to that panel, don't I? So, I need to push this from the side. There's no power going to the switchboard. Will you turn it on? I mean, that's a pretty easy decision to make, isn't it? Alright, none of the glitch. Oh no, there's a fire. Call the fire brigade. Is the Daewoo K2 the one that's like a weird combination of AR and AK, a bit like the SIG 550s? I'm trying to remember if I've like seen a video on that particular... Because again, with some of these rifles, I can never remember exactly which rifles they are. I know there's also like the cool Japanese 7.62 rifle, which kind of looks like a FAL, so you know, kind of doesn't, a bit like the SIG 510s and all that, where you know, but they're like unobtainium anywhere in the world because they were like a Japanese military thing that never got surplused.
Hey,
Where am I?
relax. You're fine.
If you say so. But my head feels like
Speaking
it's
of
about to
AR-18
explode.
clones, the one I really like
Name's
is the
Carlos.
Sterling automatic
Glad to meet you,
rifle,
man.
which is an even cheaper AR-18/AR-180 made by
Jill,
Sterling, you know, the
Alpha
Sterling
Team,
submachine guns.
RPD's STARS unit. Who do you
I think
represent?
they were like made specifically for like poorer parts of Asia,
Stars. I see.
but most
Well,
of like, you
I'm
know,
a
the
member of the
market never
Biohazard
really
Countermeasure
bought them
Force
for
sent
obvious,
by
probably
Umbrella
quality
Incorporated.
control reasons, but
Sent by Umbrella.
I just kind of like the fact they were such
Hey,
cheap,
Don't
you
look
know,
at me like that. What did I say?
you know, cheap and
Do you have a
nasty
problem?
plastic guns.
Oh no. It's him!
Oh, like I said, I won't read all these properly just because we're streaming. Like I said, I won't be on too much longer, so I'll just try and get as much of the gameplay as possible. Again, in real life, if you're in a situation like this and it wasn't a game or whatever, wouldn't you just, like, basically find a sharp object and just start pummeling his head in till, like, there was nothing left? As opposed to being like, oh, let's just, How's my health? Oh, caution. Okay. I mean, I don't really want to use the mixed one or whatever. I'm gonna have to waste the other thing now. Now he's probably gonna get back up in the Yeah, this is where the AR is weirdly, like, ineffective. So while it's actually really good against zombies, as in, like, saving your ammo, against Nemesis, it's just shit. Like, you know, where, like, 2 loads of shotgun rounds would have finished him off, whatever it was, like, 14 shells, and probably even less for the Magnum. Alright, did I grab everything out of this room? Oh no, there's still a photo I didn't grab. Alright, Rajiv, I probably won't be on that much longer. Did he drop anything this time? No. I have one of the... I'm sure I have one of those old video game magazines, like the PS1 era one with Nemesis on the cover. Because she's in caution again, I might as well use the first aid spray that was here and then it's used up. Yeah, those aren't herbs, are they, in there? It's just regular plot holes. Okay, the thing I had definitely had Nemesis on the front.
Wait. I have to ask you something.
I know. You want to ask me out? All the foxy ladies love my accent. It drives them crazy.
I have to know. Why did Umbrella send you here?
Because we're on a civilian rescue mission.
Oh, you're full of it. They're the ones who caused all this in the first place.
Look, we're just mercenaries, hired hands. Do you really think the master would tell his dogs why they have to retrieve the stick he just threw? Listen, if you want answers about Umbrella, you're asking the wrong guy. Believe it or not, we are here to rescue civilians.
Well, you're going to be wearing a catsuit, Rajiv, or you're going to put the
join
skin
us.
on for the game.
Think about it.
So, is an AR-9 like an earlier AR than the AR-15, or is it just a new name for an AR-15 or whatever? Because I know the AR-10 is obviously like the older 7.62 AR. I think that place is if you jumped out the window, you'd get out here, rather than fighting Nemesis in the upstairs bit. Ah, right, it's a skin. So you're not going to be wearing one for like the reasons of playing the game, get you more in character. Oh, so it's a 9mm AR. I suppose that makes sense to the name then. But again, that's the problem with numbers like that, is that the number isn't necessarily a year or successive model number or cartridge. It's just a mishmash. But yeah, again, so it's kind of like just, I suppose, like an AR PDW or whatever. But yeah, so I guess Department of Energy is like the thing for guarding reactors and other like secure energy sites, isn't it? Because again, the British Nuclear Constabulary have like some really cool guns. As in, I think one of our police forces for the Nuclear Constabulary even has like guys with P90s that look quite Stargatey. But you know, like none of the other police forces got that. It was just whichever the nuclear ones were, because of the fact that you know, they probably were given a bigger budget and they went, want that. I think some have MP7s as well. So they can't really standardise stuff throughout the forces very well, other than a lot of them have all different various 5.56 rifles that obviously use the same ammunition, even if they're... I'm just going to get a first aid thing out again. Right, I want to find out, can I put a first aid spray back into that first aid multi-pack? Oh, cool, I can. Okay. I didn't realise you could do that. So that at least means that, yeah, you can keep 3 first aid things in one thing. I'm trying to think what else some of the nuclear stuff I have, because again, some of like our armed police had G36s when the military obviously didn't, and like M4s and M16s and whatever else, you know, or like whatever variant AR it was that might have been HK416s. I can't remember, that they, you know, put the order in for. Most of them were nearly all Glock pistols of some sort. I can't remember which Glock model it was now, but like, you know, that seemed to be like the generic, if UK police bought guns, they just bought Glocks, and the army bought Glocks at one point. Alright, so yeah, we need to make something in 9mm because, yeah, HK, everybody just wants MP5s. Again, MP5s used to be like the British Armed Police gun for like 20 decades, not 20 decades, like, you know, 20 years or whatever it was, you know, pretty much from the 80s to like, you know, the early 2000s, actually up until very recently. Lots of them just had MP5s without any tactical crap on it. And then, you know, it literally turned into, you know, like short barrel ARs and, like we say, and other PDWs and whatever. Probably because they did the argument a bit like, you know, a load of these places saying we need something that's better armor piercing than just 9mm now or whatever, because bad guys might have body armor on. But again, police with MP5s didn't look so kind of too militaristic, because I think, because it was just a practical SMG kind of thing. I basically want any gun, but, you know, I'm in the UK, so that's the problem, brown streak I have, is that, you know, I want guns, but my government won't let me. And the things that your government lets you have in the UK are quite cut. I did see a video the other day, and again, not to shit on somebody in the UK unlike me that's actually got a firearms license, you know, and can go to a range easily and all this. But I did see a guy that had got the UK legal AK, so it was the 7.62x39 AK. I think what Trump needs to do is offer us up some sort of thing like he's done to the South Afrikaners. Say, like, you know, people fleeing Starmer, because he's falling out more and more with Starmer now, which is great. You know, say, because these people are horribly treated by their government, I need to rescue them. Yeah, this is quite an old game. Somebody in the comments might know when this came out originally. 1990... was Resident Evil 1 like 95 or 96, so this has probably been a couple of years later, because it was like the second sequel, so... Although, again, this was like more of an asset flip from Resident Evil 3 compared to the other ones. But, so yeah, where was I meant to be going? It keeps telling me I need to go and do something in the restaurant, even though, is the rusted crank for the trapdoor, not the, That might be for the trapdoor, not the other crank, because it might be like a hexagonal crank or something I need for the other thing. But, yeah, but so this guy had a 7.62x39, because it was the UK legal one, it's the one that has a gas system completely removed, so you have to cock it by doing that with every shot. Because the UK government doesn't let you have semi-autos in anything above 22 LR. Whereas prior to the Hungerford massacre, no, okay, that isn't for that at all. Right, never mind then. Again, I don't know why it keeps telling me there's something I can interact with in here, whereas... unless it's just simply a case of, oh, there's an item you haven't picked up in one of these places. Yeah, straight play, okay, that's the problem, that at that point, it's just a really bad ergonomic bolt-action rifle. Because, weirdly, you can still have AKs and ARs and things if they're in a 22LR conversion. But most people at that point would just get a cheaper Ruger 1022 and stick with that because of how many more aftermarket parts there are. But yeah, before Hungerford, you could basically have any gun in any cartridge semi-auto. But after the Hungerford massacre, they basically said nearly all semi-automatics are banned. And then when Dunblane was like 10 years later or whatever it was, that's when they did the handgun ban. And again, people go, oh, you can still own handguns. Well, yeah, but it's like, it has to be like a single shot pistol or a revolver with a brace on it or a black powder revolver. So yeah, it's not really a proper, you know, you can own all these things. It's the people like trying to sound like, oh, you can own, you know, all this stuff when you kind of can't. So, right, where or else on the map is... So, substation, but I don't know how to get there yet, is trolley and gas station. Just wondering for that bit earlier, and so how do I change it to the other map, downtown? Oh, that is downtown, I mean, right, uptown. So, the sales office, if I can get the fire extinguisher. Otherwise, I was wondering if I could get in, like, that room there, but it's not flashing to say I could get in there. Yeah, again, I've got a Swiss straight pull-out action, but it's the old one, not the K31. It's the black powder version, the old, not Steyr-Mannlicher, that's the other one I've got. The Schmidt-Rubin, is it Schmidt-Rubin 1889 or something like that, or 1896, can't remember the year, but it's, like, this musket length, straight pull. And again, the Swiss straight pulls are nice because they've actually got a rotating bolt in them. So it's a really nice, smooth straight pull. So the essentially the bolt at the user end is straight pull, but the internal mechanism isn't straight pull. But they are very easy to take apart and clean because the Swiss actually at least designed them to come apart in a couple of components that, you know, go apart and take, you know, you can put back together basically without any tools. Unlike the Austrians with their one, which, like, I keep whinging about. So yeah, is this... What does it say? Hex edge crank, its grip is heavily rusted. Maybe that is for the thing right near the start of the game. So I need to... Where do I need to go to get back to the earlier bit of the game? I'm assuming... It was near where that construction sort of site thing was. Oh, I need to go down there, don't I? Yeah, and through the parking garage. Yeah. I'll just check while I'm here that there's not anything I can do with that lift thing, elevator, but... I do have a Martini Henry, although my version is the carbine one, and I need to put it back together, because again, at one point I took that apart to clean it, and it's quite hard to put them back together, and I didn't want to force any parts. But yeah, I do have, in theory, a fully functioning Martini Henry if I put it back together, because Martini Henrys are on the obsolete list. Despite the fact, again, Martini ammo is very easy to get in the UK if you knew how to reload it. But for the sake of not wanting to get my government, you know, breaking my back door in, so to speak, I don't have any reloading tools, nor do I have loads of black powder laying around. Yeah, the problem is in the UK at least, like, obviously not on about the US of this, but the problem in the UK with some of these is they're not obsolete calibers anymore if they get rechambered into another round. Because I did see a really cool thing in the US, because the 455 577 Martini round, whatever it is, because it's quite bottlenecked, because the bullet is 455 whatever it is, 45 ACP rounds can actually be shot out of it, and because even though they're smokeless, they're very small compared to the really beefy black powder Martini round, you can fire them safely. So some US company made an adapter that's kind of like a revolver moon clip that, you know, you load the 45 rounds into, then you shoot them out your Martini, and it lets you use 45 ACP rounds out of a Martini Henry, and they work perfectly. You know, I think the tiny little bit of bullet diameter difference means there's a bit less friction in the barrel, therefore, you know, you don't get proper rifling on it, and therefore it, you know, doesn't work as effectively at range. But yeah, it doesn't even need to be like 45 Colt, like long Colt, whatever, black powder rounds. Apparently it just worked because of the fact that, you know, like I said, because a 45 ACP round, whatever, that long, was equivalent in power to a black powder cartridge of about that length. Yeah, I did see those after you or somebody else mentioned them, and I thought they were pretty cool. Again, Martini action is really nice because of it's just, you know, like you lever it down, it ejects the brass cartridge really, really hard, so you don't have to worry about it getting stuck on like even a slow eject. And then, yeah, you just thumb through the trapdoor. And again, because they're such big cartridges, it's a very easy action to work. Yeah, I saw that, JJ. I might do a video again soon on it, on Iran and all this. It's not this that the hex crank uses, is it? Maybe? No. So oh, I'm not actually. Fix the bolts, but yeah, it's... No, this doesn't work on this thing. So again, this is for something else. I think it's probably that door earlier in the game. But again, if I get to there and it's not there, I'll find a save point and end the stream for now. It's been on quite a while. Yeah, he said he's going to hit the infrastructure, the power plant. Yeah, so first of all it was hit the power plants and the bridges, and now it's like, just kill everyone, isn't it? We're just gonna kill them. Again, I feel really bad for regular Iranians, because they've had such a shit government for so long that enjoys murdering them. And now, you know, now they can get bombed by the Americans while their government still murders them. And Israel while their government murders them. And was it the UAE that started joining in bombing Iran now? I can't remember. It was one of those sort of countries that's now got involved as well. Right, if I came from up there, what thing was down here? Let me just have a look. So was that where I just came from, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh yeah, because it's the police station up here, isn't it? Yeah. And then this is the way I want to be going. Yeah, maybe his plan is that the Iranian government really like killing the Iranian people. So if I kill more Iranian people than the Iranian government, they'll be like, "Wow, Sir, you did such a good job, Mr. President, sir. You killed so many Iranians that we give up." So I was saying at the start of the game, the cutscene's kind of stupid where you have all the SWAT guys and all that firing fully auto into the crowd of zombies and they still get overrun. I don't think he's going to launch nukes, but again, what I might talk about in a video is that if they do start bombing civilian nuclear power plants in Iran, as much as I think Iran shouldn't have a nuclear program, that is a really fucking dangerous precedent to set. Because that was a thing even the Russians kind of got scared off of doing in Ukraine. Because, again, if you end up just blowing up reactors, it kind of does just make Chernobyl problems. Yeah, I think the problem is they should have armed them and done everything earlier on before the regime killed about 40,000 of them a month or so ago. But the problem is now if the regime's, you know, managed to kill off so many of the people that were protesting, you can sometimes have a rally round the flag effect. Even when, you know, it's a shit regime. Right, once I've got rid of all the ammo for the AR, right, this might be where I use a crank. You don't need to use this right now. What? Oh, it's a square hole. Oh, and this is the other size crank, so it doesn't go here. Great. Right, so where does this go? Because I can't get to the sales office because there's a fire, and I can't get rid of the fire. There's a locked door there, but I think that locked door there is actually like one that you can't do anything with. So surely I'm meant to be in the upper part of the map, but I have no clue what I'm meant to be doing up there. Unless there was a locked door that I didn't try or some shit. But right, let's just see where this locked door goes. Oh, I won't go back through there because I know where it goes, but right, so let's go up here. Right, I will play a little bit longer before going off, but yeah, exactly, because again, the thing is, yeah, if you blow up a nuclear power plant in a neighbouring country and the wind decides to blow east, you're fucked. Because, you know, physics doesn't care about your borders and things like that. But yeah, he could say, well, we're all the way over here, and they're all the way over there, and I'm sure the fallout won't go that far. It's a bigly distance. So, yeah, I genuinely don't know how this is going to play out. But he's kind of, I think, now got caught in this escalation trap, or whatever people were calling it, you know, of, you know, where it's like, oh, because he did the same thing of it will be like a 3-day, 4-day special operation, and then, it'll all be over. But no, it's not worked out like that. Yeah, well, that might be one of the ones he hits, but by the sound of it, it's like, oh, I'm just going to hit whatever I feel like now, you know, loads of civilian infrastructure. And again, bombing civilian infrastructure is not going to bring down the regime, especially one that doesn't give much of a shit about its own people. Like I said, I thought the Israeli strikes early on were good, that were, like, really targeted at assassinating people in the regime. Because, I don't want to get arrested for what I'm saying here, so I'm going to speak in hypotheticals. But say there was a civil war in the UK, and the French or whoever bombed Downing Street and bombed all the heads of state, that might make a civil war end quite quickly. But, you know, that's just purely theoretical, because I don't want to get black bagged for saying that, because, you know, what this lot are like that we've got in charge. Gunpowder B, eh? Yeah, why not? Yeah, because with... Again, it's like the Putin thing, isn't it? That because he got Manduro in like that one thing, and a bit like how Putin went into Crimea and took it over essentially in a day without any shots fired, or like, you know, maybe one person got killed or whatever it was. It really does seem like we're getting into that weird kind, like you get into that thing where they think every war will be as easy as this one. No, that doesn't work there either. So yeah, you then get into these like stupid situations where you think, like, yeah, I can do all these wars because, Oh, I see, those used there are probably ones you can run back to use, like, an infinite amount. But you can't pick them and take them. Yeah, I think you're right, JJ. I think, like you're saying, it's a case that... Let me just craft some ammo while I'm here. But yeah, this sort of problem of, yeah, if you have a load of little things you do, and they go really well, you think, alright, if I do a big scale thing, it will work just as well, and then when it doesn't go to plan, you're stuck. Because again, this is the whole thing of Ukraine, is that Putin thought, like literally again, 3-day special military operation, entire country within like 3 weeks or whatever will have collapsed and we'll own all of it, or like, you know, all of the east of it, and then you end up getting stuck in this thing because you've committed too much that you can't just run away now because you'll have lost, so you have to keep doubling down. Yeah, again, the IRGC are fucking religious nutjobs, as we've said before. You know, and they think dying for the regime and all this is a great thing, don't they? Like, because you become a martyr and then probably all the 72 virgins bollocks and all that. So so essentially you've got people that are not scared of death. And then you've got, yeah, it'll be easy. Right, okay, so where I am on the map now, the restaurant is still telling me there's something I can interact with in there. But let's see if... Or was that the gate to the park, which I definitely couldn't get through. Oh. Yeah, because it was literally a day, wasn't it, before those airmen were shot down, where he was saying, oh, we've destroyed all their radar, all their anti-air, you know. Yeah, exactly, this is the thing. There was some Iranian woman, wasn't there, in America that was arrested the other day, who was like the niece or something of Soleimani or whoever it was. So despite the fact they like beat women to death for showing too much hair or whatever, or a bit too much leg, she was like doing all these like slutty Insta reels or whatever it was. And I thought, because it's again, it's like what's good for the goose isn't good for the gander, or whatever the expression is. And that's always the same with these horrible regimes, that yeah, the ultra high up people in them pretend to be virtuous, but they're, you know, they're sinners like the rest of us. Again, how many times have like priests been caught diddling kids for the exact same reason of, you know, Cry of Fear, yeah, wait, is Cry of Fear the one on the oil rig, or is Cry of Fear that indie game? Oh, I can use the lockpick there. So I just miss that every time, okay. Firehook, okay. Yeah. Right, now, okay, so I was missing that all along. Right. Could be an ROC post down there. Yeah, exactly. Like, this is the thing. You can wish your soldiers to survive and nothing bad happen to them, that's still not necessarily like the war that's being fought. Because generally, other than some of, like, again, the most evil leftists we had in the UK, so it's not, might be Cold Fear, the old oil rig one, but yeah, again, lots of those games are inspired by old Resident Evil and stuff like that. Alright, and there we go. There's the second bit for getting into the clock tower. There we go. That was what I was missing all along. It's a freezer. But yeah, or the park, or whatever it was, that I couldn't get through that gate before. So there we go. It's because I was missing that one thing. So it was right to keep flashing blue. I just kept walking past that bit over and over and missing it. Yeah, they basically did Operation Eagle Claw that worked this time, didn't they? Because they blew up some C-130s they couldn't take off the makeshift runway. And then they used, was it A-10s and drones and helicopters to just keep, like, killing all the Iranian troops that were closing in on the thing until they basically evac'd. Because I know another A-10 was shot down, but the pilot, because it was an A-10, and obviously they're built like brick shithouses, he was able to fly the damaged A-10 over friendly airspace before bailing it out. Because again, this is the thing with something like the A-10, as much as people like take the piss out of, oh, it's so slow and obsolete and that by now, it's like, yeah, but it's still like the Soviet Su-25, a plane that can survive a lot more manpad and ground fire than something like an F-15 can. But yeah, because it's like we still had the same thing in the UK, where we did get disgusting leftists that hoped our soldiers died in Afghanistan or Iraq. Like, most of us thought it was a war none of our troops should have been over in, but you didn't want your troops to get killed over there, you just wanted the war to get resolved so they could come back. But, again, that's the difference, isn't it, between people who have, like, pretty nasty ideological delusions compared to normal, sane people. Oh, so it's City Hall, is it, technically, for a game? Again, just the fact that they didn't allow A-10 pilots to strafe the Russian convoy at the start of the war. There are all the jokes about, you know, like A-10 pilots having to be restrained in straitjackets where they saw the huge Russian column. They're also one of the top planes for killing British troops as well. As in, call-in fire support for whatever reason, because I guess the electronics are pretty outdated in the A-10. They can't identify friendly vehicles as easily and they just strafe them. Because that happened in both the Gulf War and either Iraq or Afghanistan. And it's always the fucking A-10 that did it. That's the weird thing. Like, it wasn't like, you know, more advanced jets doing precision strikes on things. It was A-10 strafing stuff. Where, you know, British troops called in air support from the US. The Americans said, oh, that has to be the, you know, jihadis or whatever in the perfectly nice armoured vehicles. So actually, oh no, it's not even hitting me, that's the blood of the... Oh good, I'm finally down to the last mag of this. Even again, like, it's a shame because I kind of like using this gun, like, it's an annoying gun in the sense that you can't re-get ammo for it, so it just is kind of pointless carrying it around. Yeah, and the current B-52s are having Rolls-Royce engines put in them, aren't they? So again, Rolls-Royce is at least making some money out of the US market in that regard, whereas Rolls-Royce basically has been completely shafted by our own government now at this point, where they're barely used for anything. Yeah, like I said, B-52s are really cool planes though. Because again, with modern electronics in them, it's like, again, I wish the Vulcan was kept in service by Britain for the same reason. Because big strategic bombers are kind of really useful. Because again, the B-52's payload is pretty similar to the B-2, isn't it? I don't know in that example, Kevin, because I know in both, like, Gulf War, you know, Desert Storm, British and American troops had loads of woodland, like, M81 and, like, woodland DPM at the same time as desert, because neither country had, like, all the gear in desert at the time, or, like, to hand, especially, like, the NDC gear and the MOP suits. But I think with the A-10, at least the later incident with the A-10s, the problem was that the transponders or something, the British troops weren't given the transponders that were up to date, that would have identified their column properly to the A-10s, and then the A-10 pilot, like, one of them wanted to start shooting before, like, triple confirming or whatever. But again, when I've watched the video, I still find it hard to blame the pilot, because he does still try and check a couple of times, because he still says something seems off. But again, at the time, like a lot of the time, it was a case of the British government, like, cheaping out on giving equipment to the British Army. So, you know, like, their comms equipment and all that was shitter than it should have been. So they couldn't have called, you know, the planes off or whatever, or confirmed with the planes at the time, because they were having to relay messages via, like, several intermediary sort of things. Because again, it's like, the thing is with planes is,
You're one of the survivors.
lots
from
of
the
things
rescue
like
team,
planes
right? I just
work
ran into
really
your
well
teammate, Carlos.
if, you know,
How did a girl like
you
you
retrofit
manage
them.
to survive?
Hey, I'm no ordinary civvy. I'm a member of STARS.
Stars? You mean the RPD Special Force Team?
Hey, is someone wounded back there? Oh, this looks bad.
They're coming. Get ready. Fire. Fire.
he might be doing something else with his arm like that.
Calm down.
Get him cancelled.
You're safe now. Everything is gonna be okay.
So Jill, did you decide to help us out? It looks like we're the only ones who survived. We should work together.
No, we can't trust her.
Why? But Sergeant, we need her help. Our unit's down to you, me, and Lieutenant Mikhail. That's it. And Mikhail's hurt bad. If we don't cooperate, we won't be walking away from this mission.
Fine. Then let's go over
What
that.
0Z buffer,
We're moving to
Rajiv?
the
An
clock
emulator
tower
or
area,
what? Or
which
a
is the
different
designated
thing?
landing zone for the extraction chopper. Once we get there and give the signal, the chopper will fly in and pull us out.
That's a lot of ground to cover. I don't think we can make it on foot.
The main problem we have is that the landing zone is cut off from here by the fire. So we have no choice but to use this cable car to navigate through it.
Cable car?
Fortunately,
I think
we can
this is
also
a
use it as a
tram.
moving
A
shield
cable
to get us
car
through
is what you
the
go up a
worst
mountain with, like where
That
it goes
works for
there.
me. Good plan. Sir,
Okay, people, let's get moving.
Jill, put this on.
Okay. Oh yeah, this is the thing that gives you more inventory space, isn't it? Yeah, that's actually really useful. Will you take the wrench? Okay. Again, it depends on the game, doesn't it, Rajiv? Because some games didn't have this issue, but I think it's, like, again, the various rendering styles. Okay, so that's just both doors to that thing, so it doesn't matter that I've gone through that other door. So the wrench is what I can now use on the fire hose, although I'm going to save and stop the stream as I get to the next safe zone. Yeah, I can imagine if you had to wear UCP again. Old chocolate chip wasn't that bad, was it? Or the other US desert. But yeah, like saying UCP was the one supposedly that if you got it dirty, it was actually alright. But yeah, it just was so grey and kind of... I mean, there's that picture of somebody using it on an old sofa and they blend in pretty well. But yeah, the main obviously issue with UCP is like dirty. Yeah. But yeah, like yeah, the main issue with UCP is quite literally the fact that yeah, like by default it was. Is that one dead? Yeah. But again, there's like videos where people have used green and brown dye on UCP, and it's genuinely a pretty good digi camo at that point. I quite like, because again, like Marpat was alright. Like again, and wasn't it some stupid thing that because the Marines had Marpat, the army couldn't have like a similar camo, which was the only reason like UCP was. Alright, I want to just have a look at the north bit, don't I? First, is that way? Yeah. So. This way. That zombie's got a suit on. Oh, I'm actually getting slightly low on ammo now. There's a switch where you push it. Of course I'm going to push it. Alright, and this is the book that I can use to swap for the other puzzle item, isn't it? Don't need any of those herbs at the moment. Yeah, again, like I said, that's the, yeah, could I not get to that gas station before? I can't remember. Or was that a newspaper office? Yeah, that was a newspaper office. So. Oh, I went down the wrong one again. Oops. But again, it's like I said, that's the thing that just annoys me of multicam is, like, yeah, the annoying thing, JJ, because everybody now uses multicam, or a thing that's such a like minor derivative of multicam. It looks so similar that, you know, where you get to the stage where, like in Ukraine, where the Russians and Ukrainians have to wear armbands to distinguish what side they're on. Yeah, again, it's like Britain used to have, before DPM, the, like, old Denison smock pattern, which is where Rhodesian brushstroke sort of came from. Again, it's like, some of these old camos are cool. You could return to tradition and then you wouldn't have any of these issues. Oh, is this where that crank goes? Alright, I finally found where that crank goes. Oh, and it's broken off. But, oh, can I now use the wrench on it? Is this the one where, like, for several nights in a row, they just ran in and looted shops, and then the police's really, like, hard man response was, why aren't the parents dealing with it? Oh, yeah, I heard about that, because then Waitrose doubled down on it, didn't they, Rajiv, when there was all the public outrage, and now, like, the boss of Iceland said he can work for Iceland. No looting, what were they doing, just smashing up shops for the fun of it?
Jill! Hey, the zombies are getting restless.
I know. I can hear them. What's going on?
Oh, that's a nice poster that you'd have
Jill!
to remove from a modern
What's
game
wrong?
like this.
They're coming! They must have sniffed us out. They know we're here.
Hey, calm
Yeah, so
down.
just being cunts and
Any
yeah.
objections to my playing hero this time?
What are you doing? Carlos!
Can I walk behind the camera or not? Am I just meant to be getting the thing onto the individual letter? But yeah. Yeah, again, there was a bus driver that got sacked for a similar thing, Rajiv, where he, like, some woman got robbed on his bus, so he got off the bus, and then, you know, like, tackled the guy, got a handbag back or whatever, before, like, you know, carrying on driving the bus passengers. And then, yeah, as a bloody result, they were like, oh, I have to fire you now for being a good, upstanding person that... I know they supposedly bought a load of water cannons. Maybe they sent them all to Northern Ireland again, I don't know.
Relax. I'm not dead yet.
Are you okay?
Yeah, again, and then Waitrose doubled down on it, Rajiv, because everybody was going, alright, now you've doubled down on it, are you definitely saying, like, it's alright to just steal from you? And, like, yeah, like I said, then the boss of Iceland has now said, oh, we'll hire this guy, because he sounds like a good person, even though Waitrose don't know, like, good staff then.
Ouch, my ears are ringing. We both should be deaf by now. Okay, I'm gonna scrounge up some equipment. There might not be any at our destination.
Right, I'll try and get to a save point and then save and finish the stream, because I've been on quite a while. Can't remember exactly when I started it, but it was quite a while ago. And then there's that video comes out tomorrow on that Chinese gas mask thing that I mentioned earlier in the stream. Right, just 2 streets along here to a safe room again. Although, weirdly, in the old Resident Evil games, everybody, it seems like there's like loads of sexual chemistry and the people by the end are not interested in each other whatsoever. Because, you know, it's just, again, the weird writing in these games. And I guess maybe some of the dialogue made sense originally in Japanese, and then when they translated it to English, it's just really weird, the voice acting.
No!
Yeah. Wasn't it also because of the urban market, in quotation marks, and things like that, that, like, some pizza delivery guy got shot delivering pizzas, and that's why, like, Kevlar vests became a, like, common thing with civilians, not military. Because he kind of, like, got the idea of patenting, Kevlar for, you know, like, civilian use. Now, let's put that AR away from now and just get the pistol, the ammo, and then I'll save the game. I know there's a parody of Left 4 Dead called Left 4 Head, which had very crap production value. But I remember that was a thing when I was still at like secondary school when Left 4 Dead came out. Oh, is it just another foreign gang instead, Rajiv, that's replaced them now? Anyway, I'll stop the stream now because, like I said, I've been on for ages playing this now. Oh, they're a theatre group then, Rajiv. Right, what's the pause button? I'll just have to do it like that, won't I? But yeah, right, cool. So, yeah, don't forget to like the stream when you guys go off, or just before you go off. So, I've got a video on this thing coming out tomorrow. I think it just goes live at midnight because it was one that I thought if I upload the video today, then it won't notify people that I streamed. So, like I said, short thing of this. The actual oral nasal cup and filter in this isn't bad. But the hood is sadly not very airtight. I don't know if I've actually seen the Red Letter Media one on their infomercials. I've seen the Red Letter Media one on Surviving Edged Weapons. That's alright. Yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed it. Yeah, I was saying it's good to get on again when I hadn't been on for a couple of days. Alright, yeah, sadly I think GPUs are a lot of money at the moment. But yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, but like I said, yeah, second chance body armor or whatever, yeah, because the guy was like, got like shot or whatever simply for delivering pizzas over like such a low petty thing, so it was kind of like, you know, in the urban wasteland, you need body armor and whatever for doing simple delivery jobs, which again is what the UK is like now. It's just that you're not allowed legally to own a firearm to defend yourself, even if you're going to be attacked by people with firearms and like fucking machetes and whatever. Yeah, with the 50 series, I think a 5070 Rajiv you'd be absolutely fine with, but don't get a 5090. I know there are a lot more, but I think it's only recently that there's been one model of 5090 that's been brought out that's not a house fire risk. As in, like, all of the 5090s for ages drew too much power through a couple of the pins. Whereas, like, my 3090, I think, is like a 6x6 configuration. The problem was, like, the 5090, Nvidia just set it up so, like, all the power went through, like, 2 pins. And then it, yeah, just started setting people's houses on fire. Yeah, but like I said, it was just one of those stupid things that for, like, the card was out for, like, a year with a known, like, huge flaw with it. But yeah, a 2080 going to 5070 Ti is a pretty damn big upgrade. Like I said, I'm on the 3090 at the moment, and again, not really any point in me upgrading, because again, it's one of those things I keep thinking about, and then I think how much money these GPUs cost for the performance increase I'd actually get. I'm kind of like, nah. Ah, at least he got the guy with a 44 Magnum. Yeah, you're feeling lucky, punk. When I'm delivering this pizza, I don't know, I'm doing it in the Charles Bronson voice, but yeah. Did I deliver 5 pizzas or 6? You feeling lucky, punk? Well, are ya? Depends how many muggers he's shot prior to that one, depending on how many pizzas he's delivered, I guess. Right, anyway, yeah, don't forget to like the stream, everyone, and I'll be off. And yeah, video on tomorrow, hopefully I'll get some streams done. But I might be a bit busy some of the days this week, so there won't be as many videos and streams, you know, this particular week. But next week I should hopefully get back into, you know, more frequently doing them again. Anyway, yeah, Lawnmower, that's very brain dead / dead alive. The Peter Jackson film he did before Lord of the Rings with the lawnmower scene.